time to actually listen to me, I probably wouldn't have such an attitude. Like that's the only way he hears me.
Hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for the whoop, the notifications, baby. And for those of you are returning to the channel, then you already know what it is. You ain't got the minerals. Make sure you get yours. You know what I understand? Get yours. You understand? All right, we're going to talk to you guys about love goals. I'm talking to you about Coolio and Mimi. I think it's an interesting episode, really, because Coolio is not ready for a relationship. I'm gonna say it straight. I'm not gonna blush about it. Mimi is accepting below bottom par standard. Simple. And the reason why I say that is because this guy is in a place of unwillingness to change. He's happy with her the way she is, but he refuses to acknowledge the internal conflict within himself, number one, and also acknowledge that his behavior is abysmal, that his behavior is appalling. This is the kind of guy that you do not continue a relationship with. Somebody who cannot see that they need to change is somebody you don't need to be with. Simple as that. But like I said, I understand Spirit's job here. She's here to mend relationships and to help them see the truth, in a sense. So I get that. I think the very first thing I want to talk about really is the beginning, just the opening scene where Coolio and Mimi are helping the group do these egg rolls or whatever, right? Now, obviously both of them are very versed in this particular thing. They both know how to do it, etc, etc. It's meant to be a teamwork thing. Coolio's made it into a dictator kind of thing. And he doesn't realize, because he thinks he doesn't argue, he doesn't think he's aggressive. Passive aggressiveness is also real. Yeah, the way you say something can show some aggression.
Oh, man, you're so sensitive, man.
I just don't feel like arguing with you right now.
We're not arguing, man. I'm asking for your help. I'm ultra non-confrontational.
You don't need to be aggressive in necessarily say your body language in terms of exerting some kind of aggression to make someone feel some way, but some of your behaviors can be what we call passive aggressive, meaning that the way that you're behaving causes other people to feel threatened by some of the actions you take, and it may not be, like I said, you exerting yourself physically on somebody. For instance, giving someone a silent treatment comes underneath passive aggressiveness. You are trying to be hostile and take back control and get the person to react forcibly. You understand? Aggressive. So what we see here now with Mimi and Coolio is that as Mimi is obviously showing the girls obviously how to put the rap together, Coolio's obviously noticing the fact that, you know what, the girls, Sondi, Teresa and Althea may not be doing it exactly the way that he wants. That's not a problem. But what's happening here is a teamwork thing, and he begins to override Mimi. Right? And when he begins to override Mimi, let me tell you something. He doesn't realize that he's overstepping the mark, but the girls do. So forget even Mimi's reaction. Look at Teresa's reaction. At points, she even licks her lips, her eyes dart to Coolio, and her hand even comes up to say, hey, can you chill? But she doesn't say anything, right? But she wants to tell Coolio, chill the frick out, bro. Like, we are getting there. Like, Mimi's telling us how to do it. She's come around to show us. You don't need to keep harping on. But he's literally standing over them like an authoritarian dictator, telling them how to do this thing. Do you understand? Rather than actually saying, hey, look, I'm working with Mimi, saying, oh, do you know what? And you know what? Tone is so important sometimes. Because you think that you've got a lighter tone, it doesn't excuse it. Trust me. The way that you use certain words can become very directive and very commando and very driven and very instruct-led, and then cause people to feel like they got no choice in the matter. And that's the way you will go. That's the path that he was taking, right? And even when he tried to even kind of order around Sunday, and Sunday had to even reply. I can't remember what she said. She said something back to him, right? And when she said something back to him, what she was trying to say is that, listen, we've got this. Like, yo, bro, chill. Like, this is even like a girl's kind of moment. Like, chill, bro. Like, you're on too much. Do you understand? And then Mimi gets frustrated, and she gets frustrated not only with Coolio, but then ends up displacing that frustration on the girls by saying, all right, don't listen to me then. But it was like, Mimi, the girls weren't the problem. Your man was. You see? And that's the problem here as well. Mimi, you're not standing up to your man. You're now displacing your frustration now on the group, but the group done nothing to you. In fact, they are even the casualties in this. So if your frustration is going to go out, you don't say, don't listen to me then, because they're hearing two different voices, and they're trying not to be rude to any of you. And if you feel like he's overriding you, you deal with him directly. Do not deal with the group. Don't displace.
I literally...
You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
you're right. Don't listen to me. Listen to him.
What's the difference?
Okay, so when you're trying to not too much, not too
Listen to
much.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that self-defense mechanism where you're displacing your anger on someone else when really the anger should be towards your husband. Yeah, because it causes isolation in groups. Even Althea as well played a part in this where she tried to even calm it down. I saw her, she was smart. You know, she came over and she tried to make it funny. Like, I want to be part of this.
I mean, like, don't play with me.
I'm a part of this project too.
All right, come on.
Because she was sensing that there was animosity building. There was a temperature that was building in the situation. And so she tried to cool it down by making a little bit of a harp and a joke. It didn't work. In the end, Mimi left, you know, went outside. And the thing about Coolio is this, bro. Like, when are you going to get it through your head, bro? That making jokes at inappropriate times is not necessary. Like, he's obviously uncomfortable having serious conversations. Yeah. He's very uncomfortable having serious conversations. And when he's in the wrong, he's unable to see his wrongs because he doesn't want to see himself as a bad person. Whatever's happened in the past, and maybe he felt like he was a bad person in the past, now he's changed from that. He may feel like if I do something wrong, I feel guilty again. So I don't want to feel like what I used to feel when I was younger. So every time something's going wrong, instead of owning it and saying, listen, do you know what, my bad, do you know what, Mimi, my bad, do you know what, my bad, I did something wrong there, I think I was over talking you. He doesn't. He makes it into a joke. And he says, are you serious? Like, you're overreacting over this, and actually belittles her emotions. But he's been told this from the very first episode when he joined. When they had a one-to-one with Spirit, she told him about this behavior.
I just don't feel like arguing with you right now.
We're not arguing. I'm asking for your help.
Yeah. Mimi told him about his behavior. Why are you still doing it? And it's because obviously he's so used to belittling her and calling it normal behavior that it's hard to get out of. I was making a joke. What do you mean you're making a joke? You're making a joke at the expense of my emotions. When I actually feel the way I'm feeling, you're now making a joke. And I say that, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I've seen this kind of behavior when men are uncomfortable with being in the wrong, and they're uncomfortable with serious conversations where, you know, someone's emotions are. It's a bit like the brother who hurts his little brother and says, shh, shh, mom's gonna hear, that kind of thing. It's like a same kind of behavior. It's like you're trying to almost kind of cover it up. You understand? And there's no need to. Just address it, move forward. But he won't. When Mimi obviously comes back in, she actually stands behind Coolio. She's not part of the group no more. She's isolated herself and stood behind the group. And what she's really waiting for is for Coolio to apologize and then bring her back in. That's what she's really waiting for. Coolio ain't gonna do that, right? So instead, Coolio kind of just continues on talking to the group, rest of the people. Nothing changes, you know. And so what we're seeing from that is that Mimi's kind of, she's unable to stand up to this guy. This is the problem. This is why Coolio's got away with so much. She's never stood up to him. She's never properly stood up to this guy. And because of that, he continues what he's doing. Because he cheated almost 2-3 times. And you've gone back there and you've never stood up. And because you haven't stood up, and sometimes standing up means walking away. When someone, look, you can't teach nobody staying through consistent cheating that they should treat you better. You can't teach them that. All you're teaching them is reinforcing in their mind they can get away with it. I mean, if you were doing a crime and you kept on getting away with it, would it reinforce that you shouldn't do it? Then we had the Smash Challenge, which I think was quite interesting because what we got to see was then Coolio and Coolio's reaction to Mimi's frustrations. And again, look how now he looks. Look how now he becomes all sad. Yeah, because now I didn't realize that, you know, I was so much cause of pain. Yes. Because you're unable to, because you are so full of yourself and full of your own problems and full of your own stress and full of your own ego and pride that you refuse to see that your wife at a moment is not happy. Do you see? So at this particular moment in time, what's happened, when she starts smashing things and saying his name consistently, you see his body language completely change.
All of it changed to me. Shocked. Because I thought we was past that.
You see his body language, he begins to slope in his chair, like he can't smile no more, you know what I'm saying? And even when she comes over, usually they hug when they do something. No hug, no kiss, no holding hands, nothing, nada. Man can't even look at her, yeah? Because what he's seen is, because he doesn't, and I admit, he doesn't want, the reason why he's like that is because he doesn't want to ever be the source of somebody's pain, right? But what he fails to understand is, you can be the source of someone's pain, and all you have to do is acknowledge it and apologize. But that part of it doesn't come in because of pride. Because you don't admit that you're wrong. Because that would mean admitting that you actually make someone unhappy. You know? And so we see that part and I'm just like, whoa. It's crazy. You know? And so when even Spirit comes over and says to him, like, and starts talking to him, you know, it's almost like a spoiled kid. It's almost like the kid that's like, he's acting as if that he got done dirty. Blood. So the reaction that you're showing now is like he got done dirty. So Spirit had to come to his level and in the end had to make him put his hand in her hand. When it should have been the other way. I mean, Spirit made Mimi put her hand in his hand when it should have been the other way. He should have been making the first move towards Mimi. You've hurt her. Again, we're reinforcing some of these behaviors of male. You know, we all know we have trauma. We all know we have pains, but someone is doing more than the other.
Coolio has a hard time understanding that you can treat somebody like a queen and absolutely amazing.
Someone is using that pain to inflict more pain. And obviously, we get obviously shown, obviously, yes, cooking makes him happy. When he talks to Spirit one-to-one, you know, and this is where he makes his key point that he's basically unwilling to change for her. He thinks that she wants a 9-to-5 type of guy. No, she wants a loyal type of guy. She wants a loyal type of guy. And you're going out late or whatever you're doing or whatever, oftentimes it's probably tied in with girls, isn't it? It's not tied in with the mandem. Look, if this was a mandem thing, yeah, it wouldn't be an issue, but there's always the fact that if there is mandem, there's going to be girldom there too. So what she's really frustrated about is the fact that, again, where's the loyalty? Where's putting her first as priority? Where is the making sure that she's your world, bro? You're not doing that still. Even though you fluffed up, you're still not doing it. So then what do you expect the person to do? But he's unwilling to change in those areas because he's still unwilling to grow up. He's still on a Peter Pan flex, which is I can do what I want. And it doesn't work like that in a relationship, bro. It can't work like that. So anybody dating somebody like that, people, look, guys, girls, if you're dating somebody who wants to be a free spirit, let them be a free spirit by themselves. They can't be a free spirit and have you tied up at the same time, all right? Let them be a free spirit by themselves. Do you understand? Appreciate it.
She wants. She's what I want. I'm not what she wants.
But I think it's...
He said something where he says he believes he's not the right person for her. You know, he just knows that. He basically has made an assumption that he just knows he's not the right person for her. And do you know what? He's telling the truth. He ain't the right person for her. Yeah? Because doing what he's done so far, he ain't the right person for her. And honestly, I don't think he's the right person for her. Absolutely right. He knows this. He's absolutely right. What he needs to do is leave. Be strong and leave. Right? But he's not gonna do that. Why? Because he's still getting benefits from the situation. He won't change because he's still getting benefits from the situation. He's still been allowed to behave as he wants to behave. Do you understand? She needs to put him out of his misery by saying, listen, Joe, I can't take this no more. I'm done. But she won't. So yeah, guys, I want to leave it on that note and say, listen, if you're in a relationship like this, guys, listen, you've got to love correctly. You've got to understand love, what it is, and understand that what you need. There's a standard. You can't give in to a poor standard because you want this aspect of love, not the fullness of love. You understand? And so, guys, I'm just saying, I like Coolio, I like Mimi, but I just don't think they're right together. This behavior just shows me, and his unwillingness to change as well, lets me know that I don't think you're meant to be together. Do you understand? But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for a notification of the what? Uploads, baby. For those of you, hey, think before you do. Don't do before you think. I should be thinking about what you got to do. Appreciate you. You ain't got the minerals, baby. Appreciate y'all.